McDonald's triple cheeseburger.
See why. After
Yeah, give me a ring light. Just loosen it. Hi, Chrissy. What's man? Happy Friday, everybody. Hey. Oh no. What ordered me? Chicken egg. I'm over it. Oh. Thanks for the refresh. Yeah, I feel like it's been a long day. Thanks for the heart meet. Hi, Peachy. Welcome in. I'm bad. I'm nervous. Thanks for the refresh. Thank you. Thanks for the chats. Thanks for the repost. Ready for my close-up. Oh, we're doing it in the office?
Yeah, we'll lock it up.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, I suppose. What's the link? Because Jasmine was like, she don't have TikTok. Is there another?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You on live right now?
YouTube is live, but nobody has that. So.
No.
She don't have TikTok.
That's what she said. I said, girl, I don't know. I don't be knowing how to do all of this. I have to get you a link.
You can send this to her, see if she can watch it.
Is your YouTube private or something? Or can they just search? You got like, what's the name of the page?
I think it's.
I don't think people that have TikTok can watch stuff on TikTok.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There she go, piddling around. What is you doing? I ought to say something to her.
I'm scared.
And you're like, get out of there.
Whole thing.
What you in there doing? That's what I should say.
It gives me a heart attack.
That's a little help for watching TV on the couch.
I'm surprised she's not working her to death.
Some days she be working that little girl. She be like, sweet this. Did you wash these dishes? Did you do this? Did you do this? Where's Jasmine's name? I have to put my TV back on mute because here I go sitting at home stuff. You can watch it here without pasting my link.
You got other people that's trying to watch it too?
I don't know.
A lot of people saying, I'll be there. We'll see.
On your TikTok?
Mm-hmm. TikTok and everywhere else. Facebook.
I didn't get no responses. I reposted it. That don't surprise me. You know, very well. You didn't want to just put 2 chairs in here?
I mean, you can sit in that chair if you want to.
I don't. I'm just saying.
Well, no, because I left the other camera at work because I had to use it. I had to use it for a meeting at work, and and I didn't realize I didn't have it till the day when I started setting stuff up. Because I was gonna move it, you was gonna have your own camera, I was gonna have my own.
Yeah, I need my own camera.
So that's why I had this like here, because we can sit side by side and it would catch both of us.
Oh, okay.
And the chairs, I mean, I can break those in, but they just the tall chairs. So I don't know.
That's okay. Okay, let's see here.
How's your lighting?
I could use a little more light. I feel like I look dark.
You look dark.
Yes. Put a filter on me. Now I look blue. This light, this is good. It's this up here.
This one.
Like the YouTube is, go back to where you had it before. No, okay, do whatever you just did. Yeah, the YouTube looks good. I guess that's okay.
Well, it'll be okay.
Can't be making my podcast debut looking crazy. I need one of them good Snapchat filters.
You want to look this?
That's better.
That's better.
I think I can live with that.
It's a bunch of different filters. That's your microphone.
Test, test, test. Oh, it's on mute.
Yeah, that's on.
Do I have to be up on it, or does it?
We'll ask the chat. But,
Now, how you gonna communicate with the chat?
well, we can just talk, but any comments or anything will pop up over here for TikTok.
Are people gonna be commenting on YouTube?
Yeah, but that'll be on here.
Oh, okay.
The laptop is YouTube. This is TikTok, and those are all the discussion points that I doubt we'll get all the way through.
Mm-hmm. I'll move my phone so. These people from my job is texting all this nonsense. Get my water in case I get parched. Somebody's saying something.
That's Discord.
Hmm?
That's Discord. That's something else.
Oh. Now, should you gonna do a background for YouTube, or are they just gonna see your office?
See my office on that one because I was supposed to have a stream key to where I could just stream it, shoot it out to everywhere at once, but I hadn't got it yet. They haven't given it to me yet. So
Who got to give it to you?
TikTok.
I guess you're like famous on TikTok if you're gonna have keys and stuff.
Let other people tell it, but I don't feel so. But
When you say other people, what do you mean?
family members and
Oh. Stuff. Well, you have like 4,000 followers. That's a lot.
Of people.
I don't think you're supposed to know them.
Um,
Most people don't know their followers. Marcel said he gonna start him a podcast.
Who?
Marcel, he just be lying. He said, I think people want to know what I got to say. I said, I think they don't.
It might be.
They don't. He ain't gonna say nothing.
Y'all gonna start y'all one now?
No. I think Kiki has always planned to start hers, so she will do that eventually. I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. I'm a work
How do you feel about
scenes.
this?
This is okay because this is a topic I could talk about all day. But to like be a main host and come up with stuff on the regular, I don't know that that's me per se. Now I can be on them, and discuss different topics. But I don't know. We'll see.
Actually being the actual host itself.
Yeah, and it like being my thing, I don't know that that's.
We're gonna see what this does. Well, I have at least four
Topics?
for different episode topics that I want to do. Two of them will probably be this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe three, depending on what the response is. I have one more than Taji is gonna be one.
What, coming out of prison?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
He called me on live one night and said, "Bring me up, I'll do one." And I was like, "For you, like really?" Like, yeah, like how I turned my life around, how coming out of prison, all that kind of stuff, and how I am now.
That's
If
good.
you want to talk about it, then hey, cool.
He should talk about it.
Oh, that's your water, but
Oh, I'd much rather drink this Fiji water than Aquafina.
You want a raspberry?
No, the water's good. What are you doing?
I don't see why I keep doing that.
Maybe you should scoot back.
Oh. All right, are you ready?
Sure.
I'm gonna go live and let it kind of build up.
Oh, okay. That's how you do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna be able to hear us over the music? No.
It's how I do my karaoke lives.
You sure that's not too loud? Oh.
I'll be able to tell.
I'm sure what's her face gonna be here because she put it on her calendar.
Oh,
Yeah, she wanted to say her name. In case she's already on.
No, it'll take a minute for people to get in here. I'm just doing a lot of people keep asking me how my mom keep asking me how to find it.
Oh.
At least now when they click on this shit. Testing.
And yes, it's working. Oh, this is what we look like to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Should I put my glasses on? Okay.
It's my backup page.
You have a backup page?
I got like 4 backup pages.
You know, people are in here.
That's me.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Can you hear us okay? You can type in the chat, let me know if you can hear it.
Well, thank you.
Can you hear us?
Let her give me my compliment first. She says she can hear.
Can y'all hear Ty? Can y'all hear both of us like clear? Because she has a microphone over there too.
Somebody, you gotta accept them. Why you have to accept them? You don't know.
He's trying to battle.
Oh. She said the music is loud.
Is it still loud?
She said that's better.
Okay. All right. I'm just letting. I went live a little early, but I'm trying to let it build up. Yeah, I'm not gonna be moving as much.
You disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
So is this recording also or no? Oh, okay. She said, is there a fan on?
Oh, what's up, Hannah? Welcome in. What's up, Queen? Welcome in. No, there's no fan on. Why you say that? Whatever I turned off, stop. Oh, okay. Well, I know what that was.
What was it?
My phone. This tapper.
Oh.
Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Sounded like wind blowing. Thank you for the rose.
How do you know if people are on YouTube watching?
I don't, because this is the first time I've ever gone live on YouTube.
Got it.
But I sent the link out for it.
Mom said, should she go check something?
What you checking?
Oh, probably the YouTube. Maybe.
Live. Oh yeah, you can go. I think I put the link for YouTube in there. You can go check that one too. Try to wait till we get at least five people in here. I don't know. I said one person in here.
That might be Jazz.
What's up, Vegeta? Welcome in. Oh, there go Kiki.
Welcome, Kiki.
Welcome in, everybody. We'll give it a few more minutes. I got some other people that wanted to show up, so I'm waiting on them, but give it a few more minutes. Happy Friday. What up, Tony? How you doing? Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Oh, I gotta sit up. I keep disappearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you a few minutes too. They missed it.
You missed it? No, it's about to start right now. You didn't miss anything. It's about to start. What's up, Mika? Welcome in. I don't know why I keep being the one to disappear. You sitting there. How you doing? Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Y'all let us know if y'all can hear us okay. They said they could, though. Can you hear us on YouTube also? Okay. for the Go Populars. Yes. Okay. Mika, I think you might be a moderator in here, so if you can just kind of filter some of that stuff up, please. What's up, Mr. Ken? Welcome in. Okay, so yeah, YouTube is working too. All right, welcome in everybody. This is the first episode of the series Purpose Through the Ashes. My name is Quincy. This is a series that I came up with just based off of some things that I've been through in life and some growth over the last few years and things like that. And I decided that I wanted to create something to where I could possibly help people based off of just personal life experiences and how I got through them and how I'm still working through them and things like that. But definitely not anything for airing out dirty laundry or anything in my past or anything like that. This is all about growth and healing and encouraging people and things like that. Welcome in everybody. I see all y'all coming in now. Welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. So saying that, the name of the series is called Purpose Through the Ashes, and it's just about me growing, like I said, going through some things and just coming out on the other side of it. So resonate with the Phoenix back there. So if you visit my page, you'll see that a lot, and that's just kind of what this whole thing is centered around, just kind of burning off some of the old things that you've been through, and just rising from the ashes with purpose and different things like that. So along with that, I decided to make my first episode about something that I can speak on probably for days. And I asked Tyra, this is Tyra, this is the kids, Roman and Legacy's mother.
Good evening, everyone.
I asked her if she wouldn't mind doing this first episode with me, since it's something that we both, it's our life. It's something that we both deal with and have dealt with for the last 12 years. And what I'm finding as I'm here on TikTok and different communities is that there are a lot of people out there that are also dealing with this, autism parents and things like that. And a lot of people that necessarily don't talk about it, feel like they don't have a community to talk about it. Some people are dealing with it alone. There are some single moms that are dealing with it by themselves, some single dads that are dealing with them by themselves. And my goal is just to kind of shed some light on that community first, and then also give people a safe space to talk about different things, and maybe we can all learn from each other. I'm definitely not a doctor or a professional on the topic or anything like that, and I don't claim to be, but this is me sharing my life experience and how, we deal with it, raising a child with autism and also co-parenting. We've been told a few times that we should probably be spokespeople for co-parenting on how well we get along. But tonight we are going to just kind of talk about our journey. We do have a layout. This is only going to be an hour. I'm already thinking that this may end up being 2 or 3 episodes, but I'm not going to hold everybody too long because I feel like after an hour, everybody might be ready to go. So I do have, like I say, a whole set of questions and things like that we'll just kind of go through, and we'll just kind of jump right into it. But That's me. I'm going to allow Tyra to introduce herself and just tell y'all a little bit about her.
Okay. My name is Tyra Lydia. As he stated, we have two kids, Legacy and Roman. Roman is 12. He is autistic and nonverbal. Legacy is 10. She has ADHD and she's also on the spectrum. So we've been doing this parenting journey for 12 years, as stated before. Unexpected, but we'll share a little bit about how we got to where we are, the things that have worked for us, and what we have been doing. Just a little bit about me. I'm an engineer. I'm 44 years old, and I like to bake and decorate.
Okay. First of all, welcome in everybody. I see all of y'all coming in, so please don't be upset if I don't give you a personal shout out when you come in, but I do appreciate. I see all the gifts, the heart music, go populars, the community gifts, and everything. So I really do appreciate everybody being here tonight. This is something that I have been anxious about all week, nervous at the same time, but also happy about that I finally get an opportunity to do this. So I still do the other podcasts on Sundays with my other co-hosts. This is Purpose to the Ashes is something that is solely for Quincy and whoever else I choose to bring into it. So we're gonna jump right into it. For you, what was life like before autism even became part of our vocabulary?
Well, I would say life was pretty regular. We were young, married, trying to have a child. At one point, it was suspected that I would not be able to carry a baby or get pregnant. So that was difficult in and of itself. So actually finding out that I was pregnant, there was a lot of excitement to that. Ready to be a mom, ready to be a parent, not thinking that this was actually going to be the journey that we were going to take. But the excitement of being able to have a baby is kind of where I was before, Roman even got here.
Yeah. I probably thought it was me, as far as being the reason. But I mean, I do remember the excitement finding out, because I remember the morning that you called me, because I had just gotten to work and you called. You was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I was like, "What?" Like, because I think it was just kind of like we didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. So it was like, I bet if this is what it's gonna be, then we were happy. So I mean, that's what it's gonna be. So that morning she called and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and I was like, I had just pulled into my parking spot, and I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "I'm pregnant." I thought she was like, I don't know why I thought it was a joke, but it was so I couldn't believe it. I was like, "For real?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I think you was like you was going to go to the store and get you another test, because you was like, I don't know, but
just to be sure,
don't tell nobody." But I wanted to tell everybody, I'm about to be a daddy. But yeah, definitely not the journey that I thought we thought we were going to be on. So I mean, we went to the doctors and everything, and we were doing doing the checkups and stuff like that, and we were just happy. Thank you so much. At the possibility, we about to have a kid, and I don't even think we knew what it was. I think we were just happy.
Yeah.
That we were gonna have a kid. So doing all the normal things, getting the house ready, everybody's excited and stuff like that. So Roman got here, and we were excited. Excited to start our life and everything. How did you feel when you first got here?
Nervous, being a first time parent, not really knowing what to expect, but I knew that I loved this baby more than anything, and ready to see what was going to come with being a mom. A little bit of anxiety because it was an unknown situation. Just I had an idea of what kind of kid he would be, based on my personality, your personality, the family around us. You have all these big dreams for your child, never knowing that autism could be a part of that life. But I'm ready to be hoping that he may have played sports, or maybe he was into math and science like me, or maybe he wanted to do IT like you. So just wanting him to develop and seeing what that development was going to look like. So in my mind, I had pictured this child, this son that I was going to raise, not knowing that there was going to be a curveball thrown.
Yeah. No, I definitely remember on the way home from the hospital, and we finally got to leave the hospital and finally got to go home and everything, and it's just anxious about the future, just excitement. It's like, man, we have a kid, like get to go home and fix bottles and change diapers and all that kind of stuff. But um, everybody is excited, the family's excited. I know my mom was excited. I know your mom was excited. She couldn't wait to get down here to do whatever she was going to do with him. She was here, when you had him and everything, but, she had to go back, but she couldn't wait to come back and just be with him and just do everything. Like, everybody had so many different ideas of what kind of kid he was going to be and everything, but I think we were just happy. Like, we got us a kid and everything. I get to go home after work. I get to play with him and just hold him. And even though everybody's like, don't hold him all the time, but I was like, that's my son. I'm proud. That's what I want to do. But of course, then you start taking them for the checkups and things like that, and that's kind of when people, when the doctors start saying, about the different milestones and things like that. So for you, I don't know if you remember, but when did you first notice, I guess, something was different? Was it somebody telling you, or was it something that you noticed? Or
I think it was when he, you go to the doctor and every so many months they're supposed to be doing this, they're supposed to be doing that. And there happened to be another baby at the daycare, and they were born, I believe, in the same month or within the month. That child was meeting all these milestones, doing all these things. And Roman wasn't quite doing those things. So I think I realized probably around 9-10 months, something may not be right. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it, but he wasn't babbling. He wasn't doing things like holding his bottle. He didn't crawl. He kind of rolled around everywhere, which was very interesting. But I knew something was different. There was a delay there. Just didn't necessarily know what that delay was going to be.
Yeah. I definitely know. And now I think, in the last, I guess, few years now, when I kind of think about everything, I can kind of admit that when people were first starting to tell me, they were mentioning things here and there, oh, something may not be right or this or that, I didn't want to hear it. And that's just the honest truth. Like, I didn't want to hear it. Even if I saw it, it's kind of like I still wasn't trying to hear that, because why y'all just can't let me be happy for the moment? Like, this is my kid. We almost thought we weren't going to have one. It's like, I get it and I understand and I appreciate people telling me and stuff like that. But it's at the same time, it's kind of like, they would say, well, every kid develops at their own rate, but he's still not doing this. But also, he's developing at his own rate. So it's kind of like, which one do I really go with? Do I enjoy him the way he is, or do I look, try to see, I guess, if something's wrong or something like that? So, but I definitely was in denial.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I concur.
I was definitely in denial for a good little while. And it's not that, and I didn't feel differently about him or anything, because I loved him. That's my boy. That's my kid. I love him. But there were certain things that I was seeing and things like that, but I didn't want to admit, and I can admit I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know, because in my family, to my knowledge, in my family, there was nobody else that had a special needs kid. So I was the first one. And I place a lot of blame on myself. What did I do wrong? Or, was there something like health-wise with me that, the reason that, this is happening and things like that. But I definitely saw some of the same things. didn't necessarily want to admit, but it didn't mean that I wasn't, all the services and things that, whatever they said needed to be done, I was still doing whatever I needed to do. And I'm gonna say right now, MVP to Tyra because she definitely was the one that was, when the doctor said this is what needs to be done, she was on it. And like Quincy, this is what we need to do. This is where he needs to be. This is where he needs to, this time he needs to be there. And I did. I would get him there. Wherever he needed to be. Either gonna be me or her. To get him to whatever service he needed. And even when I was sitting in that, I can't remember the name of the place, but Fatima Approach. And I'd be talking to Tyra, and she's like, well, what is he doing now? I was like, I don't know. They keep saying that they're supposed to do A, B, C, and D, and he still ain't doing nothing because I felt like it was a quick fix. So I'll say this. For me as a man, I think most men can probably be like this, which I think is why most men probably struggle with it. You give us a problem and a solution, and to us it's like, all right, well that's the solution, and that's supposed to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Right away.
So you didn't feel at that time it was going to be a lifelong journey. You thought he was going to go to therapy and then quick little 6 months and he's going to be
like that. Even though you were saying
to
Quincy,
quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Even though you were saying Quincy, this is going to be a long journey, I was like, no, it's not, because they say we just do these things and this should be the result. And those things were not the result.
They were not the result as quickly as you thought they should be the result.
Yes.
There were results gained, but not in the time frame.
Let me change that. There were results. There were results. Like you said, just not in the time frame that I placed on it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was still doing it. I was still getting him to where he needed to be. But I feel like maybe if I had a more positive attitude about it, maybe he could be further along. But that's also kind of dependent on him because he is a very lazy kid. He can be a very lazy kid at times. But I still feel like, early on, if I had done a little bit more, if I had not been in such denial, then, he probably could be further along than what he is now. And if y'all have questions or anything, comments, stuff, I am reading the chat, but I'll try to get to them, when I can. But as far as like emotions that I was feeling before I had answers, like I say, I think for the most part I was just trying to. I think I wanted to know why, and I don't think that's a question that any autism parent ever gets an answer to. I think we come to terms with it, and you be okay with it because that's still your kid. And I think as you kind of grow with your kid, you learn that they still have personality and things like that. So you learn that they're still a person. But for me, I guess my strongest emotion right now is just just why. But I think that's one of those things I know that I'm never going to get an answer on because I was thinking about it would actually be able to answer that.
I think for me, when he was younger and developing, I held a lot of resentment. And I say resentment because I'm sitting here watching other children develop, and I'm angry at the kid at the daycare because he can hold his bottle and talk, and my son cannot. So I think you go through an array of emotions. You're going to go through anger. You're going to be asking the questions why. You're going to start to resent other kids, other parents, and you start to look at other people's situations, and a natural part of you, well, for me, went through, well, they didn't even do any prenatal care, and this kid is quote unquote normal. I did what I thought were all the things, and my kid is not. And so you're constantly questioning, and you're constantly in a cycle of grief. Thank you, Kiki, for mentioning that. You're constantly in a cycle of grief because, as I mentioned earlier, I had this picture perfect little boy that was going to then grow into this wonderful man, hopefully. Um, and so at every milestone that he does not meet, I'm in grief because I got to grieve this child that I thought I was raising, even though my kid is very much alive, very much alive, very much healthy. But at every turn, I'm going to be in a constant cycle of grief because I'm grieving what I thought should have been, and it's not. And to see somebody say, "Were you mad at yourself?" I would say, I don't know about mad at myself, but I did question myself a lot. Should I have done something different? Should I have breastfed him? Should I have used this formula? Should I have done this? Should I have been reading him books every hour of the day? Should I have held him more? All the shoulda, woulda, couldas. What did I do that this happened?
Yeah.
And I think that's a normal cycle for anybody that has a special needs child or a neurodivergent child. But I think you still go through those emotions. I don't think those emotions are over for me. I will forever grieve this child that I thought, this 12-year-old who's supposed to be going in the 7th grade, who should probably be playing maybe a sport or doing something. That's not happening. Not to mention, then let me not say you don't celebrate the joys and the milestones that they do meet. But when you talk emotions and what you're going through, those are the things that I was dealing with. Yeah. And you don't even know you're dealing with it until you kind of get on the other side of things, or you go see a therapist, or you go to different places to get some type of support, and then you realize, oh, okay, this is what that was.
Yeah. And I dealt with some of the same things. Like there was a job that I was at, the same job that I was at when Roman first got here. There was another guy there, and they had just had a child too. So I think they had a little boy. So him and Roman were the same age, and they were just he would come in the morning, we would talk because he wanted to compare. Hey, my child's doing this. What's your child doing? And some things, they were on the same thing, on the same page with. And then after a while, it kind of started being like, well, hey, my child's doing this. What's your child doing? It's like, well, no, he's not doing that yet. But, the doctor's just saying that, he's just kind of delayed and stuff like that. And after a while, it got to a point where I didn't even want to, I would still talk to him, but it's like I would kind of try to avoid it because I didn't want to talk about it, because I was upset. Even at church, there were other kids. I would see other dads with their sons and stuff like that. And yeah, I would be upset because it's like, I don't understand, I think what I did was I was like, I don't understand what it is that we did, because the way I pictured a picture perfect life and all these things. I was like, I felt like we quote unquote did everything the right way. Not saying that there's a wrong way to go about, life and stuff like that, but I was like, we got married, we had a kid, we had the house, I feel like we good people, so it's like, what is this about? like, where did this curveball come from? What lesson am I supposed to learn from that? And people will constantly hit you with, why not you? And it's like, okay, well, I get, but why me still? Like, that doesn't do anything for me. We've even had people, I guess, try to, explain it to us or try to, put our minds at ease. Even at church sometimes, like the minister would try to preach a sermon that's supposed to, kind of, I guess, prick our heart and put our minds at ease. And I'm still sitting there like, okay, that's all good. I understand it. I get it, but your child is doing all these things. And I'm still, we still dealing with what we having to deal with. So while you never want to be mean to anybody, but it's like, I understand, but yeah, at the same time, like, no.
Somebody asked in the chat, does he speak? If so, when did he say his first word? Roman can say a few words, but he is considered nonverbal, but he can say mama, he can say go, he can say no. And I think his first word was probably no. And I don't really remember when he started to say that. Oh yeah, we definitely, to Kiki's question, I definitely celebrate Roman. That child has a smile and a laugh that will warm your heart. it's definitely a journey, but I celebrate him and I'm thankful for who he is. I'm thankful for his personality. He's an otherwise healthy kid.
And I think that's what helps a lot. His personality helps a whole lot.
He's so lovable. He's just, you know, he's definitely celebrated and he's definitely still a gift. So I don't want anyone to think that he's not, because he is.
Yeah. And the thing about it is the other thing is we don't deal with half of the things that some other autism parents deal with their autistic children, because Roman's not aggressive. Even though there are certain things that we wish he was doing right now that he should be doing at the age of 12, he's still, like Tyra said, he still has a really good personality. He's always has a smile on his face. Always playful when he feels like it. When he don't feel like it, he can cut it off and be like, all right, I'm done. But that's just part of his personality. I mean, it's definitely a journey getting to know him, and it's fun getting to see his personality come out, because you don't always want to just think everything is because of the autism. Like, some things we just know that's just his personality. That's just, and we see ourselves in him. Like, that's, oh, that's Quincy right there, or that's Tyra, or even that's Wanda.
Yeah, we do. She say, tell the people he funny acting too. Only with Aunt Kiki. But he definitely has his own personality, and we're grateful for that. And he's achieved things that we probably thought maybe he wouldn't. And we don't have, like Quincy said, some of the challenges, like some parents, their kids only eat certain things. Roman eats an array of things. We don't have that issue with like textures and different things. He likes to eat, and he eats a variety of textures and different foods and flavors and all those things. So yeah, we definitely are grateful for how far he has come, because he's come a long way. And that's been with, the different therapies, the ABA, the speech, the physical therapy, the occupational therapy. So he's been in therapy since he was 12 months old.
How was he with touch? He's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's kind of like anybody else. I mean, he does have some sensory things about him.
Yes.
But as far as like, he doesn't like flinch or anything like that if you try to touch him. But he he gonna look at you if you come up to him and be like, what you doing? But he's gotten a whole lot better to where he'll actually let people hug him.
And he hugs other people. He actively hugs them too as well. And he likes to high five you.
Yeah, so I mean, he's like she said, he loves to eat. He loves home cooked meals. So fast food has never been one of his things. He will eat it, but if you cook him something at home, like, he's gonna eat.
Yeah.
What fears? I guess after we had the diagnosis of autism, we know Roman has autism. Were there any fears that you had for him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fear that he wouldn't come as far as he's come, the main fear is if I'm not here to take care of him, if I'm not here to do all the things. And at this juncture in my life, I have put things in place, so I'm kind of a little more at ease. But the biggest fear was, who's going to care for my child when I'm not here? And I think that's the fear of a lot of parents that know that their children will never be out on their own, will always need some type of supervision, some type of caregiver, because at some point you're parent and caregiver. So he's going to need that for the rest of his life.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a fear of mine even now. And, to anybody here, that's not to say that we don't have people that don't love him. We know there are people that love him. We know everybody loves him, but nobody's going to take care of him like we will. Nobody's going to necessarily understand him like we will. There are going to be people that, they'll take over. I'm sure if something happened to both of us, there are people that are going to step in. They're going to do the best they can to take over and things like that. But I'm going to always feel like, and I'm sure Tyra can agree, there's nobody that's going to understand him and take care of him like we will. So that's all. That's always a fear of mine. What you say? Not me. Yes, you will.
you on the paperwork, Kiki.
Yes, you gonna take him to the doctor. You gonna do everything you're supposed to be doing. I ain't even bothered about that. But and then there's a fear of, how will he be treated? Because I actually, my mom ran an in-home daycare, and there was a girl there. I grew up with a girl that I didn't know what to call it then. I just knew that she was different. But now that I kind of now that I see Roman and things like that, I know that she had autism. Now I don't think. I guess back then they didn't. It wasn't something that was widely known, so there was no name for it. And maybe there was, but as kids, there was no name for it. You just knew that we just knew she was different and that she didn't speak, but she was the same age as us and things like that. So, but how would she be treated and things like that? Because nobody was necessarily mean to her, but you could tell, she was treated differently. Even with the kids at school, like when you go to school and you see the special needs kids and stuff like that. And nobody's necessarily mean to them, but they are, treated differently.
Disappeared.
Oh, there you go. So there's always a fear of, how will he be treated? Will he be accepted? It's a constant fear of mine, to be honest. When he goes certain places without me, like school, elementary school, like when he first started elementary, Dad was kind of nervous, but after he'd been there for a while, then, it's okay. You get used to it because, all the teachers love him and things like that. So when he started middle school, that was different. And you never know how people are going to react to him. Is he going to run off? Is he going to come? Are they going to put my kid on the bus? And, it was just a number of different things. So, and it's still, fear, but I think the biggest one is, if indeed something did happen, who would step in and take care of him and just understand him, because I definitely don't want him to end up in a home anywhere, or anything like that. Were there any misconceptions, I guess, that you had about autism?
I just don't think I knew enough about it. Even though my mom was an educator, she taught middle school and she taught special education, but even with her and her experience, I don't think I had any misconceptions. I just don't think I knew what all it entailed. It is a spectrum. There's a wide range of things that individuals with autism go through. So it was just the unknown for me.
Yeah. I didn't really know much about it. I tried to read up on it the little bit I did try to read up on, but like we say, we all know that now I was in denial, so I didn't necessarily even want to know anything about it.
Big denial.
Okay. This is the first time I'm admitting this out loud, so. But of course, she already knew that. But this is the first time I'm actually admitting it out loud, and I'm okay with admitting it, because it's the truth. But as far as misconceptions, I don't know. I didn't know much about it. I just it's a spectrum, so it's literally like a spectrum. So all the kids are different. Like any kid that has it is different. Like some of them you don't even know that they have, or they're just real high functioning. But thank you for the prayer. I don't see the rest of your comment. Does the school district have something? Resources leaders need. The school district that he's in, they do pretty good.
Yeah, we've been fortunate with our school district to get the services that we need. I attend every IEP meeting. I request meetings. I'm Johnny on the spot when it comes to these kids in the school and making sure they get their services. So I think with this elementary, they just kind of got to know me because I was at everything. And, when they would try to maybe decrease a resource I thought he need, I would push back. because I would do my own research. You know, when Roman started school, they didn't have to tell me he was autistic. I had my own reports from the doctor, my own paperwork. I just wanted you to do what you need to do on the school side so that he could get the services in school. But let me let you know, I know these things about my child. So I think, you know, as a parent of any special needs kid or any kid, just in general, if you stay involved and you push back, you advocate, you can get the services that are necessary for your child. I have been fortunate that we have gotten the things that I have requested for Roman through elementary, even with his first year of middle school last year. As soon as school started, we had a meeting. The principal, the diag, the paras, his teacher. This is what I need you to know about Roman. This is what Roman needs. How are y'all going to facilitate those needs? And we had a pretty successful year last year. So we hope to have the same.
Side note, if y'all need help advocating, Tyra can probably help y'all do that. Because I think you've helped a few people, at least talked to a few people.
I've helped a couple people just in conversation and trying to get their kids tested. And, you know, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily want labels on their kid, but sometimes the labels aren't bad. The labels help you get the services that are necessary. So, you know, sometimes you just got to get in there and push for what you need.
And also, when Legacy got here, Legacy is his sister. There was also kind of a fear of how are they going to mingle? How are they going to mingle with each other? Because you always hear I guess it's always kind of said that, you know, autistic kids, they have the label of being very aggressive and I guess mean or always wanting to fight and things like that. So,
or don't like physical touch.
Right. So there was also that fear, like, well, how are they going to mingle with each other? And, you know, here it is, you know, Roman's here now, we're introducing this new child. And he's like, all right, who is this? And, you know, when she first got here, you know, we would, you know, have a paddle on the floor. You know, we would put them together, and it's kind of like, it's one of the things where you kind of watch him, just kind of see what he's going to do. Because he used to walk up to her and just kind of look at her like, who are you?
Grab her arms and move them real fast, like I guess she was a doll or something.
Yeah.
He didn't, I guess, know how to take her.
Right. But they got along very well, honestly. Like, it was never anything, you know, I guess after the initial, you know, few months, I guess, you know, we kind of saw, you know, they're not going to bother, you know, he's not going to bother, they ain't going to do anything. Like,
she does more bothering of him than he does her.
Even so to this day, you know. But, I mean, there will be times where, what's up, Taryn? Welcome in. And welcome in everybody else. I'm sorry. I see all y'all coming in. I thank y'all for the taps and shares. But yeah, there'd be times where she was sneaking to his bed at night and just being there, laying in there with him, and he'd be trying to get her out of there. And she just wanted to be near, you know, wanted to be near him and stuff like that. So if anybody was wondering, they do get along very well. Even to this day, they still get along. She is like his little mom. Almost.
When she wants to be.
When she wants to be. Now, when she don't want to be bothered, she's like, Roman, get away from me. And you know, we try to talk to him just like he's a kid that understands everything. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't sugarcoat a lot of things with him. We try to push him to do what he needs to be, know what needs to be done. But
and I know we've spoken a lot about Roman, but I don't want to leave Legacy out in terms of her challenges, because she also has an IEP, because she has ADHD pretty severely. And so again, the advocating goes for her as well with the school district. So watching the two of them, because they have their different quirks, you know, her with what she's dealing with from a mental health standpoint with her ADHD and some other things, and then him with his autism. So
it is Taryn.
Yeah, they have a very different dynamic, but we also have to advocate to make sure she gets what she needs as well.
Yeah. That's funny, Kiki. But yes, Roman does not get any slack. I don't give him much slack. Yeah, I get on him just as much as Legacy. Because I don't want to create, you know, you never want to create that sense of, it's okay for him, but it's not okay for me and things like that. So, is she nurturing with him?
She is when she wants to be. Yes.
Sometimes overly, and then
Yes.
sometimes she will get on our nerves. Well, Roman needs this. Well, Roman is doing this.
Roman said he hungry.
It's like,
I'll be
my
like,
God.
he said that?
Roman talks to her apparently. So
Yeah, apparently.
there are a lot of times Roman said that he really wanted to just eat some catfish. Like,
that's really what she was like, not what he was like.
Well, Roman said he's tired. It's like, I really don't think he said that. But if he, if he's talking to you, then that's fine with me. I see my mom said she would take him, but he's strong. He is a very strong kid.
Yeah.
We took him for a dentist appointment today, and he is 140 pounds of pure fun. But,
yeah. And 5'3", a little over 5'3" in height. So he's a big boy.
Legacy doesn't think he gets it like her. Well, yeah, I know. And she said that Roman doesn't get in trouble. I always get in trouble, but what Legacy don't tell y'all is the stuff she be doing. Which I'm sure we'll touch on that further down in the episode. But let's see. But yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, your mom said he's taller than her.
Yeah, my mom took them out on Sunday, and I stayed around for a little bit because I realized that my son is much taller than my mom now, and he's a lot stronger. And I had to make sure that they was okay, but she did text me like, "Yeah, this boy is strong." I was like, "Yeah, you can't pull him. He's not the little kid that we used to drop off at daycare anymore over there." So, but I do want to touch on how my son is still my son. I think we've been kind of touching on that already, but he's still my son, and I love him. And the one thing I guess that bothers me sometimes is when people ask me, do you still love your son? Do you love your son? It's like, well, yeah, I still love him. It's the diagnosis, it's the autism that I don't like. That's the part that I don't like. And it's because it's a struggle for us, but it's a struggle for him too. Because we want him to do all these things, and he has there's a learning curve. We have to figure out different ways for him to learn and how to communicate with him. And there's also the other thing of he doesn't necessarily know that he's not communicating with us. Like, he probably feels like I'm telling y'all what I want, and y'all just don't do what I'm asking y'all to do. I'm going to ask him that sometimes.
We're going to send them your way, Kiki.
Yeah, I'm going to send them your way. But you wonder that sometimes because you'll see other parents with their kids and, they be fussing though. Because, some parents are like, oh, these kids on my nerves and I can't, they'll just go do such. And I'll be like, I wish I could just tell mine that maybe just know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell my kid to go get me something to drink real quick, and he come back, and he'll go to the refrigerator and get what he wants, but he'll leave it open. He'll just bring you stuff out of the refrigerator
for him.
He brought me a whole pack of bacon, and that just means I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But you learn different ways of communication, and that's where the topic of changed me more than it changed him, because we're kind of having to learn him and how to communicate with him, and he's learning different ways to communicate with us and things like that. But you have to learn different ways of communication with him. You have to watch the different signs and watch what he does to learn how he communicates, and even when he's sick and like what's wrong with him and things like that. I know you have had to kind of learn that. You've had to learn that also. Just how to watch him, and you can tell when something's not right. Because you'll tell me it's like, well, he ain't doing such. I'm like, well, maybe he's just tired. Like, no, something ain't right. Sometimes he be tired. Every once in a while, I win that one.
But it's true. You have to. Your parenting is going to change because, this is not a typical situation. He can't tell me his throat hurts. He can't tell me his ear is bothering him. He, at I think 10, 12 months old, he I don't even think we knew he had an ear infection. He happened to be at a checkup and they were checking his ears and he had fluid in him, fluid that wasn't draining. This kid had no fever, no nothing. And so at that point, we knew, okay, well, he's going to have to get tubes in his ears and go through that whole process. And he did. So that's something that we are still dealing with. I mean, he had a set of tubes put in his ear maybe a year and a half ago at the age of 11, which is not necessarily typical. But whatever is going on in that part of his body, it does not drain like it should. So he has to have regular ENT appointments, which other kids may not have to have that. But I've learned that about him, and I've learned that he can have an ear infection and not have the same symptoms as another kid because he's definitely not going to carry a fever. He had an incident where he got something in his eye a few months ago. Well, he wouldn't open them. So that was an emergency room visit because I couldn't get him to open. I couldn't put any drops in him. So we had to take him to the emergency room. They had to sedate him just to be able to open his eye to see that it was a scratch and he needed a particular drop. You know, he had his tonsils taken out, refused to eat for a week. So we spent a week in Texas Children's Hospital because he would not open his mouth.
For Thanksgiving.
During Thanksgiving.
This was supposed to be
it was supposed to be a day. It was a day surgery. He was supposed to go home and we thought he was going to do okay. And then he did not swallow for a whole week. And so, you know, it's different nuances like that where another kid could tell you, Mom, I'm not going to swallow because it hurts. Or they could verbalize something. Well, there is no verbalizing. Right. So it's a lot of watching, observing, and trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah, because we, like you said, we were there for the whole week, and we were at, the doctor that said, hey, he needs this. We were like, okay, so what's up? Like, did he really need this? Or like, what happened?
Yeah.
Because this was supposed to be, like I say, kind of routine, or, kids get their tonsils out, they can have surgeries all the time. And he's had other surgery, where ear tubes put in and things like that, but he always bounces back like quick, even after like the ear tube stuff. Like they always go like, well, he's gonna be lethargic for the day, he's probably like, Roman bounces back in the hours. Like he might sleep it off, and so we get home, like he up, like I'm ready to go. So this was different because he actually had to be in the hospital. We were kind of fighting with him because they had to put IVs.
Yeah, he didn't want anything on him, so the IV had to have, nutrients flowing. I mean, he was a day away from getting a feeding tube because he would not swallow and hadn't eaten anything for 7 days.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that you don't expect that to be happening from getting your tonsils taken out.
So we graduated out of ABA and still learning, Justin. Yeah, it's still going to be a constant journey of learning. But yes, they are very independent. Yes, they do know what they want. And that's the thing about most autistic kids. They're very smart. It's just a communication barrier. But Roman, he's very smart. He's sneaky. Like, he's real sneaky. Like, he watches us, even though, we co-parent, she has, her house, I have mine, he's very sneaky. Like, he knows what to watch. He knows how to move. And, he knows when, if Dad's not in the kitchen, he watches me and he'll go sneak in there and I'll come back and the fridge is open. And I'm like, okay, what did you get? And he'd be in the bed with snacks. Like, sometimes he'll bring you the snack, but if you don't open them fast enough, he's like, I'm going to do it myself. And
I don't,
no.
I don't agree with the last comment.
No, not like his parents. But yeah, so yeah, that was a challenge also, and that kind of communicating. Once they figured out what was actually going on with him when we were at the hospital, then they kind of gave him some medicine for it, and he started talking in his own way. He started making sounds and stuff. It was like, all right, well, I wish you could have told us this 5 days ago. Yeah. And we all could have been at home on our regular schedule, but still glad that he was okay with it. But if I think about how some things I had to learn a whole lot of patience. because there are still a lot of times, and I'm still learning patience, so I'm not done with it. I'm still learning patience because there are a lot of times I'm like, Roman, I need you to do this, and where he would have probably have done it before, and it's like, I need you to do this one thing, and it's like he's just like, I'm not gonna do it, or just what some other things that we still wanting to do right now. We're still working through. Heavy on the patience, yes, heavy on the patience. How do you know can't versus won't?
Oh, that's a good one.
Um,
I can give an example of that. Like he can understand the command, and I think somebody had asked about food allergies. He's not allergic to any food per se. He can pretty much eat anything. But the can't versus won't. So Roman can understand the command, pick that up, pick up your toy, pick that up. That's something I know that he can do, but sometimes I'll tell him, pick that up, and he won't. So it's kind of, if there's a skill that I know he has developed, then that's kind of how I figure out the can't versus won't, if that answers your question. Because if it's something that I know you can do, then I know when you're not doing it. I'm trying to think of a skill where I just know he can't do it at all.
Like, I guess for me, like, and I don't know if it may be a good example now, like, Ronan the other night, he pulled all his clothes out of the drawer and just threw them on the floor. And I'm like, pick up, I walk over and I'm like, pick up your stuff. Now I know he can do it because I've seen him reach down, pick things up and put them back in the dresser. Versus him just not wanting to do it, and he just stand there and look at me like he don't know what I'm saying to him. I'm like, all right, let's reach down, let's pick your stuff up, and he'll sit there like, or he might, stubborn is the word, because that night he was very stubborn. Like he would pick up, like he would reach down one time and with both hands he would grab like a bunch of stuff, and then he might reach down one more time and just grab one thing and like, here, like I'm done. I'm like, no, you pull all this stuff out, you gonna put this stuff back up, like. This is the third time I done come through here tonight where you done pulled everything out. So that's one example. And then I guess can't would be him taking a shower by himself. Like,
yeah,
he can't bathe himself right now. Now he can go stand in there,
and he will go get in the tub because he knows that that's where you take a shower. He knows the water's gonna come on. But he can't. The motor skills aren't there for him to be able to bathe himself.
Yeah. So I would love to. I would love for him to learn that sometime soon. But because he does like to take a lot of showers. Like he will go in there at least twice, sometimes 3 times, depending on how long we're at home. At least 3 times a day. And just stand in the shower. Sometimes he'll grab me and leave me in there, and that's like, okay, I want to take a shower. And it's like, you took one 2 hours ago. Like, I'm not going to keep bathing you, messing up, towels and stuff. So what about finding out that he had autism? You felt like when you found out we talked about that earlier on, but yeah, it's definitely something that you can kind of feel alone in, especially if nobody else in your family is dealing with that kind of thing. So you kind of feel like you don't know necessarily who to turn to or who to talk to about it. It's new, and then you just don't, like I say, you don't know which direction to go with it. You don't know how to feel about it and things like that.
I would potty training. The question is, what are some things you both need to work on to further his growth and you're putting off? I would definitely say putting more pressure on him for potty training, even bathing, because he definitely knows how to take his clothes off, pull his, with assistance, pull his pants on. I think we could be further along in that if we put more pressure on him. I think things like him going in the refrigerator and not closing the door. He needs to close the door.
Some simple things. Especially feeding himself, depending on.
Yeah, because he can do all those motions. I think sometimes, and this is just me, being honest, you get lax, and it's easy for me to just say, "Come on here, let's do the things here, feed you," versus taking that time and here's your spoon, or you scoop because you can do it, or putting that pressure and forcing that potty routine. It gets hard, it gets difficult, it gets messy, and it just one of those things that I do feel like there needs to be more pressure from us as parents to get that taken care of, because if you can take an iPad and you can swipe and you can find your video that you want on YouTube Kids, I think we need to be going to the bathroom.
Because he manages to find videos in Spanish. Even when we switch them back, 10 minutes later, he'll be able to find the same video. So it's like, you are capable of a lot. It's just, some of it, like I say, is stubborn. Some of it is stubbornness. You want results much faster. I mean, that's true, too. Because, I mean, it's not like we haven't tried.
In some aspects,
yes. Very much so in some aspects. Because there are things that Roman will slip up on that we would think, oh, he can't really do that, and he'll slip up and show us that he can do it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there are probably other things. That was just one example that, we both need to work on to help him be further in life.
Yeah.
Somebody, I feel like there was another question. Maybe I missed it. Oh, the resources. Right. So I say this all the time. Community is very important. To Taryn's point about resources, community is very important, and it can get hard to build that community. So for me, I got online, found different things. We started off doing stuff at the Y with the Miracle League. That helped me meet other parents. And I think one thing for me, you got to be open. So like when I would sit in some of those therapy clinics, I was kind of closed off to it because I'm a working mom. I'm in here taking calls, trying to be on conference calls, and I'm looking at the other mom who's a stay-at-home mom. Not to say that's not a job in itself, but I think it kind of closed me off to meeting other parents at that time and trying to get resources, because they always hand you that report, that diagnosis, and it'll have different things in there for you to do for your child. It doesn't have a lot of things in there that you need to do for yourself to help you navigate this road. So as I kind of grew in this journey a little bit, I started to be a little bit more open to sharing what I was dealing with, talking to different people, people randomly talking to me. And so I've kind of built a little community of moms and different people. And now it's kind of like I'm open book. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to try to help you navigate as best as I can, because there wasn't nobody helping me push through all this at that time. I was kind of doing a lot on my own. His pediatrician helped a lot. She was really good. But, in the therapy clinics, if you get in a good one, they can kind of navigate you. But
Kiki, sometimes you have to just go there in your mind. You have to take some vacation.
For those of you on here, Kiki is my best friend. So she knows a lot about me. She knows a lot about Roman in this journey. So that's why you see some of her comments. They're comical, especially to me.
Yeah, I know what my aunt always says, that Roman knows a lot. And I'm not necessarily saying that he doesn't know a lot. It's just a communication thing. It's a communication barrier. I know that he's very smart. I know he be playing us a lot, but we need a life. We need a Kiki in our life. She's a very good friend to have. So y'all should all get y'all a Kiki. But we do have a good community of people around us that love both Roman Roman and Legacy, and they understand. They understand. The challenges that they deal with, and we do have other parents, that have special needs children, that have children with, delays and stuff like that, that we actually do things with.
Yeah.
So we just took Legacy to the Great Wolf Lodge for her birthday, and there were some other children that kind of have some of the same things that Legacy deals with, in Rome and stuff like that. And they, that's kind of the people that we kind of hang out with when we do certain things. Not to say that we don't want other kids around, but sometimes it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Just to do it that way because you don't have to deal with the looks or people not necessarily understanding your kid because you run into that kind of thing. Even though your kid is not aggressive or things like that, if people are not used to your kid and they just know, oh, he has autism, you can kind of see where people are kind of standoffish or they kind of like it almost makes you uncomfortable to the point it's like I'm not gonna go put him in that situation. I'm not even gonna put myself in that situation because she don't want to fight nobody. I don't want to fight nobody.
Because we know how I feel about Roman.
I'm more of the, I don't want nobody to talk about my kid, but I'm more of the guy, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. Tyra's more of the, we're going to remove ourselves from the situation after I say what I got to say. And after that, I got to do whatever I got to do.
Taryn, I'm glad we helped you a lot. Did it ever... The question is, while looking for answers and questioning why did it ever drive a wedge between you two, and then are you or were you ashamed? The first one, I would say yes, because with him being in denial, I didn't know what was happening. On my end, it just looked like you're not accepting or you don't want to do anything. So yeah, and so that becomes a communication issue between the parents, I would say. As far as being ashamed, I don't think I've ever been ashamed of Roman. I just think that's a good question because I wouldn't call it shame, but there was hesitation on, maybe doing certain things or going certain places for fear of, maybe people looking
Judgment.
Yeah, maybe it was the judgment of it all, but no, I don't think I'm ashamed of it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ashamed, but like you said, I think it's judgment because you never know how somebody's gonna react to your child, and it's kind of like we know him. It's like he's all right. Like there's nothing wrong. Like he's not mean. He's not aggressive or anything like that. But you still don't want him treated a certain kind of way, and along with that, you don't ever know how they're taking that. Because they don't know that they have autism. They don't know that they have what the world sees as developmental delays or things like that. They live in their life.
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of like, you never know if they're wondering why do people treat me like this or stuff like that. Or on the flip side of that, they could care less sometimes. Like they do whatever they want to do. As far as the wedge between us, yeah. Because I guess I didn't necessarily want to talk about it. And in hindsight, I should have been more open about it, but that was one of those things I just didn't know. I didn't know how to express. So, but like I said, it's something I should have communicated and talked more about it. I just didn't know how it would be received. I don't know what way I thought it was going to be received, but you never know. Because it's something new and something that you never dealt with and things like that. So it's new for everybody. Yeah. That's the way to do it too. For anybody, that's my mom in the chat right there, Jenny. That's my mom. But yeah, I look at people crazy too. I'm the more quiet person, and I always have been. But Tyra is the more you look at what you're looking at. Like she's gonna address it. So we balance each other out. But yeah, that's like I say, patience is one thing I had to learn, and we're not gonna get through all of this. I didn't think we were anyway. But you say you quiet until
yeah.
Even family members, to Taryn, even some family members. they can be a little standoffish and weird.
Yeah, that's true.
They can act kind of weird, and then some of them make comments, little sly comments that they think that you don't know what they're saying, but it's like you catch stuff because as an autism parent, you have to learn different ways of communication. So you learn to start catching little things. You pay attention to every single thing, like you're forced to. So when people say things, even family members, like you catch stuff, but
we'll have to cover some of this. I think you're over your hour. You slotted for this.
You said, I'll answer the last. Was there ever fear of having another child? For me, it was because I still didn't have my answer as to why this happened in the beginning in the first place. So I wanted that answer before I didn't want it to happen again. Is basically what it is. I didn't want us to have another child and have two children on the spectrum that we're struggling with and things like that. That was my fear.
I didn't have that fear. I would have had another one. And it's funny because we ended up with 2 kids on the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's funny that you thought that was your thought process.
Yeah, it is.
But
that is the hour that I had slotted for this. I don't want to hold anybody too long, even though this is going real well. But I knew this was going to be broken up into at least 2 episodes. I'm thinking maybe 3 now, because that hour goes by very fast. Say, okay, bye.
Really, Kiki.
So I will let everybody know when the next one is going to be. I'm going to try not to make it too long because I don't want too much space between it. But we will, continue covering, the different things that we had to learn and the different changes, and then we can get into the co-parenting part because I know that's what some people were wanting to kind of touch on and wanting to know. How do y'all co-parent between 2 different households and still have a special needs kid?
Right.
Next Friday. I don't know.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I will let you know. But I definitely appreciate everybody that stopped through tonight. I'm gonna count this as a success. I was really excited about it, and I think it went great. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, helping other people, and that's my hope. Is that we can help other people, and I'm trying to at some point at the end of this topic. Which I may still be ongoing, but towards maybe like the 3rd episode, I'm trying to do like maybe a question and answer. I'm trying to convince Tyra to talk to the people, but she don't want to wear no headset. Here you go.
Oh, that's fine.
But I think I figured out a way to where she don't have to wear a headset. But that will be more so if y'all want to come up and just talk, or y'all have questions that that maybe y'all don't feel like typing in the chat. Or I know TikTok filters some things, so maybe y'all did type something and I didn't see it. But that'll be just more so if y'all want to get to know us.
I am on TikTok. I just don't do a lot of videos or posting, but yes, I am on there.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't go live. Yeah, I don't know if she'll venture to that part or not. But I never expected to venture this part of TikTok, to be honest with y'all. I got on here 4 years ago just a way to escape life, and I ended up getting caught up with a few different other people on here, and I've kind of built a community. So I have a lot of different friends on here that are not necessarily here in Texas. They all over the place, Michigan, Florida, and things like that. So they've all been a great source of encouragement, for this and things like that, and just kind of encouraging me to talk and share and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to do this. So thank you. How did you feel when I first asked you to do this anyway?
Because I don't be on here and I don't be live, I was like, okay, how is this gonna work? How does this work? Because I'm not a TikToker, so to speak. But it was a topic that, of course, I feel passionate about. And so if I'm ever asked to speak on autism, parenting, resources, anything that can help anybody else that is going through this journey or starting out on this journey or wherever you may be in this journey, I'm always down to help because you don't get a lot of help. You know, you get a diagnosis, but you got to find your help and you got to find your community. So I'm always down to talk on this topic and help other people.
Okay. Help with the co-parenting. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, so like I say, hopefully the next episode. Oh, we disappeared again. Oh, there you go. We'll continue as far as like the different changes or different things that we've learned about ourselves or things that we've had to kind of change about ourselves, and maybe we'll get into the co-parenting part. But I have a few different points that I want to hit, on this. But like I said, it can be an ongoing thing. So who knows? This may be something that we just do periodically, just to encourage other people. But I definitely appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate all the encouragement that y'all have given. Again, the name of this podcast is Purpose Through the Ashes, and this is Autism Changed Me More Than It Changed My Son is the topic that we're covering right now. So I'm Quincy. This is
Kyra.
And we appreciate y'all coming through. And until next time, I will let everybody know when the next one will be. I'll post flyers on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram like I have been, just to kind of let y'all know when y'all can tune in again. But make sure y'all share it out. If y'all know any other people that can benefit from this, please share it out. Tell them about it so that they can be at the next one also. Thank you for pardon me. So that they can be at the next one also. But until then, we're gonna get off of here. But I appreciate y'all so much, and I will see y'all later.
Bye.